Welcome back to episode 12 of Same Mom, Different Dads. Episode 12 is special for us because it is our 1 year anniversary.
Were we saying that at the same time?
No, I wanted to see if you would.
1 year anniversary.
Candy coated nuts. But it's our 1 year and it's the journey.
It really is. To be honest, when we first started, I was like, what the fuck are we going to talk about? Like, what are we going to say, you know?
I know we kind of felt like we needed to kind of lay down topics for each episode.
I mean, that's what we do.
No, sorry. I mean, in advance, we were like, episode 1 is going to be this. Episode 2 is going to be this. We kind of did that up until we got to like 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing in life is linear. And this podcast experience has definitely reinforced that concept.
Yeah. Pat on the back for us because...
Talk about it.
We're still doing it for one.
We haven't killed each other and we're still doing it.
The amount of times that we have argued and fought throughout this year, and
it's sometimes
honestly, we like, I'm not doing, well, I've never said it, but he has. He's like, I'm not doing the podcast anymore. All right.
Yeah. Would you want to work with somebody you don't want to work with?
I would do it all the time. Yes. Especially if I got a check for it. And you don't want to work with me?
Am I getting a check?
You don't want to work with me?
Am I getting a check?
You don't want to work with me?
Am I getting a check?
You don't want to work with me? Okay.
What's the answer to that?
You don't want to work with me? All right, that's fine.
No, it's not even that. It's when you reach a rough patch in any kind of working relationship, it makes you question things like, am I getting my needs met in the situation? And when tensions run high, it makes you question that. So
anyways, I'ma always show up.
Well, for me, our podcast is about like our brother relationship, our sibling relationship, and camaraderie with that. So if there is tension there or there's an issue there in between, it's hard for me to sit here and pretend like I'm having that camaraderie. I'm not the kind of person, if there's a big issue, I can't just like, let's kiki for 1 hour and then go back into our corners.
I can't do that either.
No, exactly.
Well, actually, I feel like I could do that with you just because I feel like naturally we could just fall back into place if we ever have a disagreement. Why you look at me like that?
I'm listening.
I feel like, but I wouldn't be able to do that with like anybody else.
Definitely.
I would make it known that I don't fuck with you. But anyway, what's been like the biggest lesson you've learned, or like what's been a standout moment from the year of the podcast?
The podcast, standout moment is getting recognized in the streets.
Don't you always get recognized in the streets?
But now for different reasons. For the podcast, it's cool. It's cool to be recognized for the podcast where you are being open, vulnerable, and hoping that people connect with that experience. So when people come up to you to tell you that you made that connection, it's like, oh shit, like I'm fulfilling the purpose of what I set out to do. So that's one. And the way it has been a bonding moment for us and a fun challenge in our brotherhood, I would say that's a standout.
A challenge?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It brings out the whole purpose of Same Mom, Different Dads, which is we are going to have some same opinions and we're going to have opposing opinions. And some of those opposing opinions have been like, oh, I didn't know you thought about things like that. And
I agree.
Maybe vice versa.
Yeah. Because this year, it made me realize how different we are.
Yeah.
Like, even though we are the same, honestly, because I raised you, we are very different. And it made me realize that.
Girl, you can barely scramble an egg.
Why? I was talking to... I'm not going to say his name, but I was talking to someone and I was like, I wish I could get my eggs like mom does her eggs, and I still can't do it. But anyway, for me, definitely getting recognized in London was like a standout moment because that was random as fuck and I was not expecting that. But also just like pat on my back, because when we first started, I don't know if I want to leave it, but I used to get so high because I was so nervous and I really couldn't make it through the episode, the episodes, but because I was just so nervous, because if you know me, I'm very particular. I'm very private. I'm very to myself. And this experience has definitely allowed me to just open up a little bit more to myself, really, and just accept things as it is, and be able to be fine with things as they are.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I agree. Let's pat you on the back, maybe even punch. But no, no, but let's pat you on the back. I feel like your journey in this, it's a physical representation of exactly what you said, with how much more not only high but reserved you were in the beginning.
I'm still reserved.
No, but it felt way more guarded, whereas like now it feels like maybe one out of however many walls you feel like you have has been like broken down, because you can't go into a podcast about your personal experiences guarded or conflicted.
True.
You can withhold things for yourself, but like if the audience feels that,
it was the moment we got dragged. Like that was the moment, because honestly I didn't want to do it anymore. When that happened, I was like, do I even want to do this? Like, is it even worth it? People don't understand. Like, and after that, I realized like I've been called and like had some of the worst things ever said to me, even before that, even before like that internet shit. And I was just like, okay, well, how worse can it get? Because I've already had some bad things thrown at me. And then like with that experience, I was just like, okay, well, fuck it.
Honestly, because I mean,
what's the worst thing you gonna say, that I'm gay?
Listen,
okay.
that's all that we're gay and sound like Valley Girls. Like at that point, you pulling shit out your ass, and like if you trying to read me with a fact, I'm not gonna be that upset. Depending on what facts you know about me, but like it's really been a journey. And shout out to my haters. Sorry that you couldn't phase me.
I thought you were gonna say shout out to Tisha Campbell.
And her too, because we are still here. Yeah. The anniversary of the podcast brings is like also, the holiday season. When we shot this, we were in front of a Christmas tree, and by the time the episode came out, it was January, and people were like, "Why y'all still got your Christmas tree up?"
With your mic problems.
With my mic,
that was
we never even addressed that.
We didn't.
I had to turn the mic knob every 30 seconds so that the mic could pretty much stay on. And we were at Brandon. Shout out to Brandon, our bestie / editor's dining room table to a set. As far as the podcast, we already have accomplished, I would say, a lot within
personally or in the podcast.
In the podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We have it's been a learning curve, and we're gonna continue to grow and learn, and our content is gonna continue to elevate. So with that, what goals do you have for us to elevate?
Well, I want to be more consistent next season. Definitely want to get the merch ball rolling. I want to get more subscribers, obviously. Shout out to everybody on YouTube that has subscribed. It was a personal goal for me just to reach 500 by the end of the year, and we did that. Now we did that.
Well, we
did that. And honestly, it's been all organically. So I'm very proud of that. So I definitely want to be able to be more consistent the next time we go around and after the break, and just get merch going, get some opportunities for everything else, and just, be more open, more Black, more outspoken.
Live out loud.
More here.
And queer. I I totally want to piggyback on opportunities. A goal of mine for the podcast, like I've always just been generally saying, like, let's see where it can go. So now that we have gathered an audience, I would say, are fairly established within our small community. Now, as far as opportunities, like see where that can go as far as continuing to collaborate with other pages. Shit, we're talking about a year's worth of next goals. So I would love to do some kind of live show. I feel like
even if it's like live streamed, you know, and
even
not
if it's
necessarily with an audience, but
yeah,
live stream would be dope.
I kind of want to do an audience though.
We could next year. Our goal should be to have a Patreon page, and we could live stream.
Well, let's get
from our Patreon
or Twitch. We could do a Twitch.
We could do a Twitch.
We can do a Twitch. That'd be a good idea. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, definitely opportunities collaborating with other podcasts. Maybe challenging ourselves to reach out to people.
We do.
But like other people with podcasts and but more of that to see, like present ourselves in that way. Because we have
to be guests on theirs.
Yes. Okay. Yes. There's nothing wrong with asking.
True.
What do the holidays mean to you?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So again, our anniversary did happen around the holidays. And sometimes for me, like when it comes around this time, it's just a reminder of like the importance of being here and being with your family, especially with like people that really make you feel safe. Sometimes though, like for me, it's kind of morbid because, you know, my dad did pass away. And sometimes during the holidays, I'm just like, fuck, like who's going to be here next year? Am I going to be here next year? And I feel like that's what the holidays are really for, you know, because like you're always expected to like gather with your family and your loved ones and people you care for, just because you don't know how the year will pan out. And for the holidays, like it's just a reminder that you really need to just appreciate and take advantage of the people that are in your corner, the people that you are with every year during the holiday season. But looking back on the holiday season, we hosted.
We did. And we hosted our mom, my dad, our little brother and his girlfriend.
Even though it was really small, I was tired as fuck. Like really, it was really intimate, but I was tired. Like, yeah. Yes, I made the mac and cheese this year, period. I made 2 actually. And I will go on record and say that we are not losing recipes over here.
Okay,
that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Before you get your flowers on the food, I just want to say, quality time is the most important thing for me when it comes to the holidays. I would probably say I've had not a shift in mentality, maybe an emphasis in mentality within the past like 4 or 5 years. That most of the time when people ask me what do I want for Christmas or whatever, I always start with, I want the same people that were at the table with me this year to be at the table with me like next year.
I've never heard you say that, but okay.
I say that to like more friends.
Okay.
When did you ask me what I want for Christmas? You didn't ask me what I want for Christmas this year.
When was the last time you got me a Christmas gift?
When I gave you a serum for that dry face.
First of all, that was for my birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was Christmas.
No, it was for my birthday.
Okay.
I think. Was it? I don't know. I got you a Christmas gift last year. You didn't give me a Christmas gift.
There's been times I've gotten you a gift and I haven't gotten a gift back.
That's a lie. That is a lie.
We're not going to nickel and dime right now. That's not the purpose of the holidays. We are going to talk about the quality time part. And that's what the holidays means to me.
Okay, so to wrap up your 2023 then, what was a highlight for you and what are you looking forward to for 2024?
Continuing my personal development going into the year.
What does that mean? Personal development.
Personal development.
Yeah.
Where I'm going to develop, where I'm going to grow. I turned 30 this year, and going into this year, I just told myself, like, just go for shit and just do shit and just like put yourself out there.
Do shit or do shit?
Do D-O
Oh, okay.
space shit. I don't know what you were talking about.
Okay.
But like, just like go for things, put yourself out there. Don't think twice on certain things, because when you start to think twice, you let that voice of self-doubt really speak to you. And sometimes that anxiety kicks in, and it really just hinders your opportunities to do some things that like could be great for you, or it could also be bad for you, but you won't know. So we're just canceling out what ifs. And I feel like I set a good tone for that this year, with putting myself out there for the podcast and like socials. So let's see like what that could turn into.
Period.
Went from like 3,000 something followers to now the close of the year, like 37,000. So like,
You did that.
thank you. And it benefits the podcast too. So I just want like,
Thought you had to throw that in there.
I sure did.
Oh, all right.
And that was the whole purpose of
All right.
it. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. That was the whole purpose of it, to push myself and push the podcast. And I'm glad that it worked for us both, the podcast and me. So continue to see where that goes. And for 2024, the same vibe. But further, just as I said with the podcast, like reaching out for more things. Like, I feel like sometimes we forget that there are certain connections that we have that are close to us, that are like, let's just say even accessible, that like we may not have thought to like take advantage of, and not even to sound like in like an opportunistic way or whatever, but just like the support is there and the resources are there. So like next year, let's seek them, because that's how most people get their launch, where they're like, how did you, they're like, I reached out to blah, blah, blah. I was in the office of blah, blah, blah. So like, it's that time.
Period. For me, for 2023, obviously, like being able to leave my previous employment and get the position that I have now was like a huge highlight. And sometimes I'm still like, this is what I'm doing now. Like, is this really what I'm doing? You know?
Sometimes I gotta pinch myself.
Right? And then taking on a lot of things that I used to, I don't want to say shade or like downplay, but just stepping more into more experiences.
Wow.
Yeah. And 2024, I'm ready to have my foot firmly pressed on necks.
Do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, because I'm going to release music. So,
Okay.
yeah. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
All right.
And speaking of music
Yeah.
and the holiday season.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
I sing.
All right. Speaking of new music and the holiday season, Brandy, she released her first Christmas album.
That was a Christmas gift in its own.
Christmas with Brandy. And a lot of people like when we discuss Brandy. So we're going to talk about Brandy. We're hopefully, let's keep it to like 5 minutes or something.
It'll be short.
But I loved Christmas with Brandy. She literally, I don't want to say she reinvented Christmas, but she kind of did, because she reimagined all of these classics. And then on top of that, she has original songs that reflect the time, reflect Christmas, but also has the essence of Brandy, has the essence of R&B, has the essence of love, has the essence of family. And that, to me, is like, I feel like she outdid herself.
I agree. I really feel like she didn't expect it to be like what it is. And this is all just my own assumption, of course. But based on the promo that she has done with, like, let's say, like interviews and performances, I feel like had she anticipated the success, maybe she would have like done just that much more of those things. But yeah, top to bottom, the album is is really good. Just Julian said it, like the Brandy arrangements of it mixed with the Christmas, but like because it's still that Brandy arrangement, almost makes you want to listen to it like year round. If anything, maybe like more of like the original songs,
right? Because
especially like feels different. Like feels different. I feel like was such a gem for Brandy fans. I feel like she was like, here y'all go, like because that for sure is gonna be a timeless song in terms of like if like being seasonal. Yeah,
I feel what are your favorite songs off of it?
I mean, songs that I revisit definitely feels different. Like maybe because I ain't got no significant other this Christmas season.
I feel like that's not just about significant
that,
others,
but like we were talking about people not being at the table for certain years and all that. So it's just like that same thing. So nonetheless, you think about the people that are going to be there, but you also think about the people that may not be there for whatever reason, physically, emotionally, or whatever the case. So it's like that absence, you feel that every Christmas. You feel the presence of the people around you that much more, but also you're like, wait, but this person isn't here too. So that, and then Christmas Gift with Sarah, that's such like a fun little jingle. And it has a good little message. It's like, I don't want the gifts. I want what can't fit under the tree, and that's you. Like, hella cute. And then like, as far as the recreations, Deck the Halls.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Like the who would think to do that with Fa La 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 La?
I can't. I love the last law that she does at the very end. It's just like it makes you want more. I love it. But my favorite, I feel like, I don't know. Somebody's Waiting for You. Okay. Is that the name of it?
Yeah, Somebody's Waiting.
Somebody's Waiting. I love that. Like it has a bop to it. Like it has the Christmas jingle feel. And then Christmas Party for Two. Like even though that's like super slow, like it clicked in my head that that's like the
chorus.
Like a hark how the bells sweet silver. Like the way that it
but like slowed
like
all the way down.
Like that. They did their big one on this Christmas album because
it was really thought out.
Very much so. And she did an interview with Frank Silent. Shout out to Frank Silent. If you guys are Brandy fans, you know who that is. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I actually watched it yesterday.
So I feel like she, well, not she, but obviously Christmas is every year. So hopefully in the future, like she'll do more with it because she did mention in that like short interview that she wanted to do more with it. Like have more visuals or just like more performances, hopefully. But she also hinted that she was going to go on tour
for her next album.
Yeah. But you know what? My good sis be lying sometimes.
What?
I feel like she like
might have an album soon.
No. She hasn't even started B8.
Right. I think
like she has not started B8.
Right.
Yeah. But she was just, I forgot what question it was. And like, you know how people, like, when you lie, you look the other way. Like you look to the left or something, and she looked to the left. I was like, she lying.
About what?
I forgot what it was, but her eyes cut to the
left. No
shade.
Like, I mean,
yeah, I love her though.
No shade. Like it's not even so much of just her, but like all the stars do it sometimes, and they be asked some shit. Yeah. They were like, let me just hope this just rolled right off the back, and nobody really catch this answer.
Absolutely. But I loved, she ate down on the Good Morning America.
And the looks department, it was top tier.
Absolutely. What was Someday at Christmas? Ate down.
Never mind. Y'all not gonna catch me up in nothing. Yeah. So we love the album. We gonna buy the album. We gonna buy the album.
Yeah, it was definitely a great Christmas.
Like, it really. I didn't. I might even buy it. Like
you didn't buy it?
I streamed it.
You're supposed to buy it. I bought it on iTunes. I want to get the vinyl and one of the hoodies if it's still available.
And then
Mom got a hoodie. Did you see it?
Of course. But I will also say like the album art at first was a little like, it seemed a little like plain at first, but then.
But no, Yeah. Okay.
But
So
then when you listen to it, you're like, oh shit, it
so
matches.
much sense. Yeah, it does. Like it makes so much sense, and I appreciate the artwork.
And then if you
so
think
much
about
more now.
the artwork of Brandy's albums, it fits with it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
very, because she always does like the
a
close face.
like a
Yeah.
like a half face or close. And
Yeah.
it fits that. Did you catch that?
Yeah. Aphrodisiac though. She had the full body.
Aphrodisiac is like mainly the only full body, but like the never say never, full moon, B7, like it's all like
and human
too, very like face forward. And then this one kind of was too, but it had the bang, so it was just a little like.
I didn't catch that. That's a good catch. Shout out to Nick too.
Shout out to Nick for creating the album artwork for that. The homie. Shifting gears, but also in regards to the music industry, something happened last month right before the holiday season kind of hit, or what, did it hit already? Someone came out with allegations and accusations, and it got nipped in the bud real quick, but it was the beginning to a lot of what we didn't see coming. Cassie.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about?
The way you had to walk with me. The way you became a listener.
I was like, what the hell?
Cassie made some accusations toward Diddy, and within about less than 48 hours, closer to 24 hours, it was zoom. Everybody on mute.
Sis was paid.
She was paid, and the story was buried. But
the aftermath of that.
Aftermath.
Do you think this will pick up?
I don't know if the bars aren't showing.
Girl. Okay.
Now, Cassie made some accusations and allegations that were the seed to a lot of what we hear is going on. And it's been, a month? And Diddy thought that settlement check was going to settle that, but it made everybody unsettled.
Because her, like, even her friend.
Before we dive deeper into it, I will say, let's acknowledge Cassie's bravery and her experience.
Absolutely. Justice for Cassie.
Like, justice for Cassie. Don't want to definitely make it seem like I'm like joking about that at all. Like, speaking out against your abuser takes a lot. So let's acknowledge that. And
you know what? Sidebar. I really hope she puts out music.
Right?
Because she's really iconic. Like, she is in her lane, and she will eat her lane. She
was a very important piece of the early 2000s.
Absolutely.
Like, Me and You gets played any and everywhere.
Long Way to Go.
Long Way to Go swings harder, let's be real. But in terms of like what you might hear before Long Way to Go, like Me and You, and then for the girls that really get it, like Unofficial Girl.
It's Official Girl.
Official Girl. Trying to sound like a girl that can't even get the name right. Official Girl. So that started a lot of outpouring, and that led to a name that we never would have thought to get wrapped up in sexual. Well, I mean, I never would have thought the name, but like people in the church, they,
somebody said the church gays be the biggest bottoms or something like that.
See, like, I mean, like in the Catholic Church, it'd be the priests.
Ooh.
So let's just say maybe the church part isn't so confusing, but the image of who it is, Bishop T.D. Jakes, pause, has been accused of has allegedly attended some of Diddy's parties, and at Diddy's parties,
not the freak offs,
the freak offs, people are given drugs, and they are and Cassie's thing. They said she was given a lot of drugs and told to do things that she didn't want to do.
Not to make light of the situation, but Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed.
Bishop T.D. Jakes wants to know, have you ever been swallowed up?
Have you been swallowed up?
Is an elephant heavy?
What is it? What does that mean? Have you been what does that mean? Have you been swallowed up?
Maybe we need to watch the whole sermon.
I should. Yes. I should watch that. Yes.
Maybe we all might have different interpretations of swallowed up. Maybe engulfed by something in life, like taking over, a big wave is hitting you. Maybe that's what he means, but I like being swallowed up.
Have you seen all the memes though?
Yes.
There's one of this older dude, like he's sliding across the floor twerking. And it was like TD Jakes at Diddy's
my
Freak Off.
gosh.
That's crazy.
They said TD Jakes and replaced the TD to PB because Power Bottom was also
trending. That was trending.
It was trending. Power Bottom trending was crazy. But it also brings about like other things that were mentioned with. It's just a lot of things going on with celebrities right now.
But okay, so he addressed it though, but didn't address it.
He said, "I know who I am."
Yes, but also I can't help but to think like, why would this randomly come about? You know,
I always say with all of this, just as much as when we even talked about the Lizzo thing, I'm just like, do I see it as 100% false or is it 100% true? Like, I just feel like there's always some truth to this. Like, even when people randomly accuse you of something, like, you're like, I might do that. But, like, I know I ain't going to do all that, you know, depending on what it is. You're like, well, maybe I did that, you know? So I'm like, is 100% of this true? Like, is he a power bottom? Probably not. But could he be a bottom? Like, you know what? There could be some truth.
Allegedly, like, listen, insert some kind of disclaimer.
Oh,
I didn't. I don't want those visuals. I can't.
Hitting some poppers. Had a freak off hitting poppers in a sling.
Listen, I've
never been to a freak
off.
Let
me die. Would you go to a Diddy freak off?
I don't think I would go to any freak off.
There was a tweet that said, "Would you rather go to a Diddy freak off or what was that? What was the other one?"
Oh my God! Somebody said Diddy's house or Raheem's house.
Yeah.
I said at least Raheem gonna give you a blunt,
but
and make sure you okay.
Someone also said that they'd rather go to the freak off where the NDAs are signed and you probably get money off of it. So
who said Raheem gonna speak?
So would you go to a Diddy freak off or a Raheem freak off?
Maybe a Diddy freak off.
Right.
I mean, when I make my moves, I like to be low key, and if I go to a Raheem freak off, I might see somebody I know. Shout out to Raheem.
What the fuck?
That man has made an impact.
Okay, so speaking of like porn stars and OnlyFans people, we kind of touched on this before. I don't know if this was on the podcast or privately, but have you ever hung out with like a porn star before?
I have friends in the industry.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
You know, was this privately or was this on the
friends that do that?
Do I?
It's so common now.
Do I have friends that actually are popular on the scene?
Because to do it is one thing, but to be popular in it is totally another. I don't know if I have any.
The people that I know that are popular on the scene are the people that you associate with.
Oh, okay.
But was this privately or was this on the podcast when you were like, didn't you go on a date with somebody?
Oh, this was in the conversation that we cut out.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so I shouldn't bring this up.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where you're about to go with it. So it's probably best that I just don't.
Yeah,
I feel like you're about to throw me under the bus a little bit.
No, why would I throw you under the bus? Okay. I've never throw you under the bus. You throw me under the bus way more.
Moving onward and upward.
Go like this.
That's probably a gray hair.
No, it's red.
Or maybe it's a red hair.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Oh.
I should have left it. Okay.
infidelities are also wrapped up into this whole situation too. And Tasha K, we were on live last night and we were asking everyone what should we chat about, and Tasha K's name came up. You know, that's the woman that owes Cardi B some money, right?
Like millions of dollars.
It's like $8 million.
Not you saying she went to Africa. Wait, what did you say
No,
she
like
went?
no, she was literally like in Nigeria or some shit, and like Cardi B was like, "I'm still gonna get my money," and they were like looking up laws of like, is that gonna be legal that she can actually get it? But I don't think Cardi B is getting that money. But like Tasha K was talking about, no. Kevin Hart's former assistant went on Tasha K to talk about how Kevin Hart was being unfaithful to his wife.
You know what? Okay, so I don't mean to bring this up, but is it really like a money grab situation when these people do this? Because Will Smith's former assistant also had gone on Tasha K's show. And that's how we got the infamous "we suing" meme, because the assistant like accused Will Smith of getting back shots from Dwayne Martin.
Oh, well, Will Smith and Dwayne Martin were okay.
And Jada Pinkett went on the Breakfast Club, and then TMZ found her outside and was like, comment, and like, can you comment on this? She was like,
we suing.
We suing. But like, do you think it's like a money grab for these people when they do things like this? Because why on earth would you want to expose like the people that you were intimately in business with, like the opportunity that you had?
Yourself.
True.
I wouldn't want to hire nobody that did a tell all. I'll tell all my business too if they drop it.
I would never do that.
But like I wouldn't want that.
Why would you do that? And plus, to go on like Tasha K's platform, like I don't think she's paying you.
Right, I was about to say, is she cutting checks?
Yeah, I don't think she's paying you
because when you come on Same Mom Different Dads, you ain't you getting paid.
Okay, thank you. You getting paid with snacks.
You getting paid in snacks and Trident layers, boo.
But it's just like I feel like it's just such a I don't know if this is the right word, convoluted situation, just because it's like people go do these things for clout, and then it's just like, well, what's after that? You know, like what do you expect after this? And I saw someone was like, this is what happens like with all of this stuff against Tasha K, how it's like, this is what happens when you don't go to school for journalism, or when you look up to Wendy Williams because she is really the queen of all of this. And because she knows you don't have the education behind you.
Right, because she knows how to be messy, but it's sure some of it is messy,
journalist
but there's
as well.
Like journalism in it, there's strategy in it. It's all with the motive to reel you in, and that's what she's really good at.
Yeah. And shout out to Wendy Williams. Like everybody misses her.
I know I miss Wendy. She influenced me to make this podcast. Anyways, how you doing?
On the topic of icons, though, some new icons that have popped up. We have to give them their flowers because they really came out of nowhere. And they're taking social media by storm. Miss Neta and Charles.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not about to be cooking for no nigga.
I will.
No.
For you, I will.
But they have really like turned up social media, and although like a lot of what I see is kind of negative, just because the whole discourse about like trans and representation.
Most things
and
I see are positive up until like this week.
Well, before, when they came across my timeline, it was a lot of negative shade towards Miss Neta.
Your algorithm.
There are mean girls on Twitter. I'm not a mean girl, but the mean girls are on Twitter. But again, like they're so popular right now that they had to, Miss Neta got on TikTok and was like explaining a situation that happened recently where her man Charles, whom she cooks for every day, is it breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yeah, give them a little background on who Miss Neta and Charles are and how we know them.
Well, Miss Neta and Charles are just like regular people. I don't know where they're from. Do you know where they're from?
Somewhere in the deep south.
And obviously, Miss Neta is trans.
Yeah.
Is that okay to say? That's okay to say?
I would say so.
Okay, yeah. And Charles is her man, and she will ride for her nigga. She cooks
She will
for
ride
him
and cook for her nigga any
breakfast,
day.
lunch, and dinner. And every day, I don't know if it's every day, but she posts a video and she's like, Charles, your lunch is ready.
Okay.
And he come and he sucks down the plate.
And she watched him with a big grin on her face.
Right?
A vibe.
And they've gotten popular on social media for this, especially TikTok. But recently there was an instance where Charles was on live and it was like cooking, barbecuing, and the chicken wasn't cooked all the way through.
The way she threw that chicken.
But then there was also another instance on live where Charles was on his live and Miss Neta was telling him to get off live and not say certain things. And Charles was like, y'all see what I go through? And she was like, what you talking about? And all this other stuff and a little rah-rah. And she
Did you read the comments on that post?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
What happened?
No, I'll let you finish.
Oh, and she hopped on her live on TikTok and was like explaining herself. And a lot of people were saying that this was damage control. Like, and she was like, and she called them social media icons. Okay, so are they social media icons? And I want to point out that like she said something along the lines of like, we are social media icons right now or something like that, or like in the moment. I'm paraphrasing.
I would say, based on what I saw, it's a very conflicting opinion to say, like, was she doing the most or not? Because, like, she kind of was saying, like, okay, in a sense, maybe it was more of a, like, how you say it versus what you say. But it wasn't even that intense as what people are trying to say. I don't know. Really?
Yeah.
But she was just like, watch this, watch that. Now, when they were cooking that chicken and barbecuing, that was a little bit too much. Where she was like, is this done? And like she cut a little bit of a piece of chicken off and was like, it still got that taste, and chucked that shit like a damn a football pass.
Not a football pass. But what? That's what you said. I didn't say, you said that.
I didn't mean it that way. But she threw the fuck out of that shit. But like, I, first of all, will say, I'll cook for you if you're out there. And deserving.
No.
Deserving.
I'll order something.
That's triple the price.
True. But I'll still order it. I don't like cooking. But what do we think about them? Like, do you think?
I think they're icons because, okay, Miss Neta went on live to address her behaviors that were perceived as negative and tried to do damage control to say it was all a joke and it was fabricated and made up. I 1000% disagree with that.
Yeah.
I 100% think that Miss Neta was trying to clean up her image. And girl, like at the end of the day, like give yourself a little grace. Like it's fucking live. Like you can just apologize for your actions and move on like you're a couple. I feel like that was kind of a basic couple level argument. Now, will I let somebody talk to me like that and throw my food across the damn yard? No.
I feel like she's...
But the principle of it, like, wasn't that deep.
I feel like she's controlling and, like, it's whatever she says goes.
I feel like she probably paid the rent.
Well, she said in that video where she was
I once saw a tweet that said, he don't love you, he loved that apartment. So...
the reference.
I know.
But no, honestly, I feel like it's whatever she says, and I don't want to like dim their light or anything, but
or make
just
assumptions.
like, yeah, but just like looking at the whole situation, it's just like, it doesn't put her in a good light, I don't think.
What we just saw the past week definitely doesn't.
But she said that she doesn't like pay for she doesn't like, no, she said that he doesn't pay for everything. Mm-hmm. And that she just isn't like, just like doing this, like they do everything together. Mm-hmm. But it's giving like, she's a little controlling.
I agree, but maybe he stick around because that food is good And
You sticking around for the food?
Well,
Something.
well, he might be eating that Tic Tac from the back end, if you know what I mean.
Not the Tic Tac. Ah!
Because some of the girls, I've never done this. I watched a clip of a while back. Jasmine Masters was talking about how, you know, the old school girls put a Tic Tac up their behind to give it some flavor when someone is eating the groceries.
Okay, you know what? So I asked my group chat the other day.
You have experience with this topic?
No. No, I just asked because one day I was like with this dude and it
A little extra, a little something good.
It was pretty. It was inviting.
His flower was open. And
yeah, and I was just like, and I asked my group chat, I was like, what's the scent and oils that y'all be using? And they were like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, some dudes.
You asked the bottoms?
I was like, some dudes put like oils and scents down there. And they were like, these niggas getting whatever come out the shower. And I was just like, y'all are some low class bottoms. But it like,
hold on. It's a low class that you're not putting candy or oils on your booty hole?
Kind of. I mean, just to like.
Do you get your ass eaten?
Huh?
Do you get your ass eaten?
We are not talking about that. That's not what the topic is about.
I was gonna say, well, do you put oils and Tic Tacs up your ass?
I don't.
And is that low class?
I don't. What?
Is that low class?
No.
Okay.
For me, it's not because that's
a standard experience.
No, but they like literally had no clue about what I was talking about.
I wouldn't either.
So, really?
100%.
You wouldn't spruce it up?
Up until I saw that clip of Jasmine Masters, I had no recollection of putting a Starburst up my booty hole or a Tic Tac.
You've never
or a Warhead.
You've never experienced someone who puts extra scent or something down there to make it smell pretty.
Probably like an extra scent, yeah.
Okay, so.
But it was never like. Clicking? But it was never like, what is this? It was never. What secret formula you got going on down here?
I don't know. I just feel like that just like ups the ante a little bit. Like, and a lot of dudes,
I mean, it does.
A lot of dudes, they're like, I want a man to smell like a man, which is very true. But
I don't know one of them to smell like fucking Japanese cherry blossom from Bath and Body Works, but like
lavender. Somebody on our live last night was like lavender oil,
yeah, somebody said
and that was the one because I specifically remember
it was lavender.
It was lavender.
That whole smelled like lavender.
Yes, absolutely.
But like, if it smelled like soap, whatever soap that may be, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. But like
Irish Spring,
okay, not Irish Spring. That should make your skin rough.
No, not Irish Spring.
Like,
if you use an Irish Spring, baby girl.
First of all, that don't even belong in black households, so I'm gonna say that.
I feel like a lot of black people use Irish Spring.
I only used that at my white friend's house when I slept over their houses growing up.
Who?
I'm not gonna say it. Actually, that nigga is not watching this. I'm sure. But aside from that, like, have you seen the Little Richard documentary?
Yes, I watched it the other night.
It's really good. Did you finish
really is. I mean, did I? Yeah, I did. Yeah. The only thing that really bothered me was like all of the transitional moments throughout the entire film where it's like these random clips of just like birds and like space and like lights and like
somebody was on shrooms and they thought they ate that one
and like old throwback clips from like the 1940s and shit, and I was just like, this is not needed.
I'm okay because with the random 40s clips,
I guess, but I was just like, the story is telling itself, and it was a really important story, and I just feel like it was taking so much from it with all of these cutbacks to this random shit. But it was a really important story, but just like correlating.
Yeah, well, the main reason why I bring that up is because his aside from also just watching it, the lyrics to Tutti Frutti, "Oh Rudy," was not always "Oh Rudy."
No, it was good booty.
good booty.
I know that's right.
So were they sticking the 1940s formula Tic Tacs up their booty hole back then?
Were Tic Tacs out back
Did
then?
they do?
No. Were they were.
Did they do?
Let me see. Did they? Do you think they did? I don't know.
When did Running Water come out?
Running Water, like
A sink in the toilet.
But wait, no. Okay, so
I said come out.
I just thought about prison.
No, I think about that too.
Like, how do you douche
Do
in
they
prison?
douche in prison? Somebody gonna let us know in the comments. Somebody, user 1991713.
Do they though? But like,
some inside information. I think the guards will let them.
what do you mean? What do you mean inside information? You know somebody in prison?
They've been.
Who?
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Who is in prison?
We're gonna save that for off camera.
Wait, I remember. Oh, I gotta tell you something after this. Yeah, I gotta tell you something after this. But
What time is it?
Is that all we're gonna say about Little Richard?
No,
We're not gonna give him his fucking flowers
we will.
because Little Richard literally was.
I said, what time is it?
Oh, you did? I didn't hear you
That's
say
what
that.
I said.
Oh, it's 9:40.
Okay.
So it's been an hour. Just
Yeah. thank you.
but Little Richard, rest his soul. He is probably one of the most important people in modern music
Yeah.
to date.
Yeah.
And the way that he was really disregarded for an extremely long time for his impact, his influence in music, not just rock and roll, but just music in general, is just, it's really mind-blowing because it's a continuous theme even today with Black creators, with Black queer creators. And he was such an important person, such an important figure, and just not only music, but just like
his image and everything he embodied.
Like everything
but
that he embodied.
I would say by the time we were growing up, it flipped. Because when we were growing up, and I remember Little Richard coming up on the screen, and the conversation was just like,
oh, he's gay.
Oh, he's gay.
Yeah.
And like he got that one song, he got that one, he not that girl. He got that one song, Tutti Frutti, oh Rudy, and that was just it. But it wasn't like he was up there in the conversations with like Chuck Berry and all of that to be one of the pioneers of rock and roll.
He's not one of the pioneers. He is the pioneer. He's the
really
architect of rock and roll.
He really
and
is.
The fact that like he had to wait so long to get his flowers and his recognition, like it's very disappointing. And it's what?
Maybe that has to correlate to like the AIDS epidemic and like how, gay people were like shunned during that time. I mean, of course they've always been, but I mean, for him to kind of like go into that era of like out of his peak.
Yeah, where he went back to religion.
Get his flowers and all that. And then it just became all about like his sexuality and like we don't know if he's gay or not, but like he kind of talked about being openly gay.
Well, he's
in the past.
He never. Well, in the documentary, it was like saying that he never really spoke about it publicly about being gay, but everybody knew that he was gay. Mm-hmm. Actually, he might have been bisexual or pansexual because he.
A lot of
I'm gonna say.
Well, he had orgies.
Should we bleep that?
Hello.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to bleep it, but just don't repeat it. Just say.
Well, I'll just bleep it. Okay, yeah. But he was.
But he was involved with. He said like he pretty much just said, "If I like you, I like you."
Yeah.
He definitely said something like really close to along those lines. But
also, like in the documentary, you see the struggle of like him really being able to accept himself, but like he grew up in the fucking South, and religion is huge in the South. And of course, like you're gonna have that struggle of, can I be myself? Am like, am I a good person?
Or who am I in this environment of suppression of self?
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
you can't ever really get to know yourself with that cloud over it.
Yeah.
So that's...
And then, but like in his later life, the documentary was like, he started to like tell everybody that he knew to get right with God. And he...
For like a short period when he went to college. He went to school. He went to that Christian school in Alabama.
No, I'm talking about in his later life.
Okay.
In his later life, the documentary said that he was telling everybody just to get right with God. But like when he stopped making music, stopped performing, he went back to church, and like in those moments he was saying that he wasn't gay anymore, and like he was delivered. He was delivered. And even his whole image changed. Like he had a full suit on, like he wore an afro instead of like all the wigs that he had. But it's really interesting to see the struggle that he has, which like a lot of gay people have. Like I would even say that I even struggle with that as well. Just like, even though we're not like super religious at all, but it's just like, at the end of the day, is this really who you are?
Religion or not, yeah.
Are you gay?
Yeah. Whether I'm going to hell or not, yeah.
Yeah, but
whether hell exists or not, yeah.
Yeah. But I loved it, honestly, especially the fact that he would always let people know who he was. Not only like the queer aspect, but the fact that he would say, I am the originator of this shit that everybody else has taken on as their own. Mm-hmm. I did this first, and whether you are gonna give me my flowers or not, I'm gonna let you know that I did this.
Yeah.
Anyway, you ever cruise? A cruise? You ever cruise? Go on a cruise? Did we talk about this before?
We did, but...
Oh, but this was from the episode that we scrapped, I think.
No. But now people are cruising digitally.
What do you mean?
And virtually.
How do you cruise virtually? Like what's...
Oh, it's funny you asked. There's this. No.
There's a very infamous website called...
Is it infamous?
Yeah.
I want to say it's infamous.
What just happened? That's very infamous.
How
many views did you say it had? 5 million?
Yeah.
There's this, I think it's infamous. Hmm. It's very, well, it's underground.
There you go.
It's underground.
Infamous gives it a little like a negative connotation, I would say.
Well, this does. But there's an underground app. Is it an app? I don't know. Website, yeah. Called Sniffies. That a lot of... Did we talk about this? We did, because the whole episode about the dudes that cruise.
We talked about cruising. We didn't talk about snoozing.
What?
We didn't talk about snoozing.
There's an app, or no, a website called Sniffies. And on TikTok, there's a viral video of this poor Black woman who is the victim of
her address being exploited.
Yeah. So on Sniffies, like it's a website where you just post, well, not what post, but you just look. You're looking for hookups, and
it's like a notch above like Grindr in terms of what the girl. Well, it's just a little bit more in your face, I would say.
Yeah. Have you ever used it?
I've logged on, but have I ever met anyone on there? No. Have I ever spent more than like 2 or 3 minutes on there? And those couple times that I have checked it out to see could it possibly be for me? Because I mean,
you only spent 2 to 3 minutes.
Is there shame in testing the waters to see if something is for you? No. So I logged in. I see what the girls are talking about. 2 to 3 minutes. That's it. Just a couple to see what's going on. And every time it was a little intense for me. There's pump and dump scenes. Okay. And nothing's wrong with that, but for me, for me, that's a lot. Or like people meeting up at the parks. Okay. Like, no shade to them, but that's not my thing. I don't want to diddly. I don't want to dildo. I don't want to be vibrated. That's not my thing. But like apparently for the people whose thing that it is, they sent all of the guys that they were going to meet with to this random person's house, and
it had to be a black woman, and that's a great. What is the point? Like, why are people still out here catfishing in 2023? Like, what is the point of it? What is the point? I really don't understand catfishing.
I think it's to take advantage of the pretty privilege that they feel like they don't receive, or for vengeance. I feel like those are the two. So one is just like, this guy that I'm trying to spit game at would never talk to me based on how I look. And it might not even be how you look, it could be other things, but it's just like, in their mind, they think it's how they look. So they're just like, let me change my physical representation to engage with this person.
But sometimes, a lot of the times on Sniffies, it's button profiles.
I've been in a situation I was like,
what? Really?
Yeah.
How? Because they didn't look like they were.
Like, that's not you.
Where did you meet them on Sniffies?
On Brandy.
What happened? You didn't tell me about this one.
I was like, no, that's not you on the picture. Like,
okay, so when did you come to the realization that this is the same person?
First of all, it was dark as fuck in there. And I was like...
In somebody's house? It was dark? Oh, no. Else, it was one of those, come in, I'm ass up.
I wasn't ass. I mean, that's one of my dicks, so. And it wasn't like an ass up situation. It was just like, I was gonna walk in and, a blow and go.
So you do use Sniffies?
It wasn't on Sniffies. This was Grindr. This was like over like 5 years ago. But it was just like, I was trying to hook up with somebody, and I was like, you aren't that guy.
Did they send completely different pictures?
He was like, that was me a few years ago.
Was it a completely different person?
I would say so. According to him, it wasn't. He was like, that was me a few years ago. I was like, it's a new body.
You said I'm trying to fuck the whole body.
I'm trying to go back to the whole body things.
How did that fuck it? So did you just leave?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm gonna go, or did you just...
I'm not cool with this.
Did you go in the apartment or place or whatever?
Walked out.
Awkward.
Shaking my fat ass and my fucking drawers. Last thing that we're gonna talk about is there's always a lot of discrepancies when it comes to trying to put a name to who the queen of rap is. And
is there?
There's literally only one queen of rap.
Generally,
there's literally only one queen of rap. You know who that is?
Lil' Kim.
Queen Latifah. The fuck?
The queen bee.
But yes, I would say like the way that female rap has, what word am I looking for? Transformed.
Yeah, for sure.
Lil' Kim has had the biggest fucking impact on female
She was in a
rap.
driver's seat. Now, somebody else could have been in the passenger seat or the back seat, but like my sis was dressing all black with the gat in the lap.
Period. Dipping on your Ninja Honda with Tanisha and Rhonda.
Exactly. Now,
what?
Somebody that might also be in the car of influential women, Trina, was recently interviewed, and she was asked who the queen of rap is, who she feels that is, and she said Beyonce.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Just first of all, before we even talk about Beyonce's rapping skills, there's just so many other people that could be in the conversation before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we
honestly, she could have said herself.
She could have said herself.
Yeah,
because I mean,
the math is not math.
City Girls are her sons.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the new girls.
Isn't Carisha her cousin or something like that?
I don't
know. Or is
know.
that like play cousin, play auntie or something like that?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
But that's crazy because just as I said, like you have City Girls and a lot of other rap girls that kind of model themselves after City Girls. Like,
After City Girls model themselves after City Girls.
I
What?
said other girls that model themselves after City
Oh,
Girls.
okay.
They, follow that same path of influence that Trina has made. So it's like, sis, like for you to be very influential and name an R&B pop artist as the queen of rap is something I'm going to disagree with.
I mean,
Can Beyonce write a beat sometimes? Yes. Sometimes. But will I say she's a
rapper?
rapper?
Absolutely not. No, she's not a rapper. And for all the people that are on Twitter, I'm gonna need y'all to be fucking for real.
Yeah.
Be fucking for real. First, earlier in the week, they said that Sierra wasn't a better dancer than Beyonce.
Oh.
And that is just mind fucking blowing. Like, I don't know what planet people live on, but it's just like you need to be on Be Fucking For Real planet, because there is no way in hell that Beyonce is a better dancer than Sierra. There's no way. Like,
I agree.
and I hate talking about Beyonce sometimes because you can never say the right thing if you have a differing opinion
Oh, it's always going to be wrong.
outside of the Beehive. But you gotta be for real. Like, you really gotta be for real. If you look at the
The
choreography,
Beehive needs to be for real.
yes. If you look at the choreography, if you look at the details and everything, yes, it's all there for each of those artists. But Sierra is literally a dancer. I would say she's a dancer before she's a singer.
For sure.
And-
And that's okay. We all have
Yeah.
categories that we have, like the things that we shine more in versus others, and other people that might do that. So it's just like, just because Beyonce isn't the best dancer doesn't mean that she doesn't win in her other categories that we give her flowers over.
Absolutely.
So it's like, we don't need to have her as the best dancer, the best rapper, and all that. Like,
She's
her,
literally the best entertainer.
For
like,
sure.
let her have that.
like, let her have that best performer that we have right now, and for the past like decade or two, for sure. But like, that doesn't make you automatically the best subcategory of everything else. And that's that on that. Like,
I mean, there was also another tweet that was like, rank the dancers, and it was Beyonce, it was Maya, it was Aaliyah, and it was Britney Spears. And everybody was coming and saying that Aaliyah was the worst dancer out of everybody.
I didn't see
was
the
like-
rank, but I did see people were saying that Aaliyah is a bad dancer. That's absurd.
Yeah, I feel like it's all the people that was born after 96 or something like that.
I think we do need to take that into consideration, that because we are millennials, we are
Yeah.
so like.
Are a lot of Barbs like millennials or something? I don't know. Not millennials, I'm sorry, like Gen Z.
It's both.
I don't know. Do you sound old talking about this?
No.
Okay.
Because Beyonce, Aaliyah, and all that, like, that's our time. We own them. The millennials can borrow them.
True. But to say that Beyonce as a rapper is
As a child.
literally insane. And the tweet that you sent to the group chat of like all of the examples.
I sent a thread of a tweet that I saw. That way we can also discuss that here. There was examples of Beyonce verses or songs of them saying like why she's a rapper, and like
the first example that they gave was Bugaboo.
and we need to differentiate rapping and the melody of a song and the speed of it. Like, there's different melodies. There's staccato, there's legato. Like, there's things that yes, I know. There are things that are chopped up and shorter, and there are things that are lengthened out. And it's like, just because things are short and it's not a long note does not make it a rap.
I mean, this conversation is just like really mind blowing to me because I would never think of Beyonce as a rapper. Yes, she has songs that she is in a cadence and she is in a pocket and she is delivering like she is a rapper, but there's no way that you can say that Beyonce is a rapper. I don't think she would even say that she's a rapper. Yes, there are moments where singers can get in the bag and they can get into a rap. They can get into a delivery that is like a
They
rap.
can give us a couple bars.
Exactly. But to say that Beyonce is the queen of rap is really dangerous.
No.
it's kind of unsettling. It's just really weird. Like, and it does bring up the fact it's like, well, did Trina say this in spite of like Nicki Minaj? But she did have a hella follow-ups to be like, I've given Nicki her flowers. Like,
she did.
And when I say that Beyonce is the queen of rap, it's like when she does deliver a rap verse per se, she is the best to do it.
But then, like, the girls are annoying because Beyonce been having these songs out for how long? And now that Trina want to call her a rapper, y'all are like, oh my gosh, she's right. She is a queen of rap.
No. I mean, the first example from that thread being Bugaboo is just extremely weird. I will say that Beyonce did put the fast singing on the map.
She does have a very top influence on that, no doubt.
Absolutely, especially in the Destiny's Child days. But who do we have to blame for this, honestly? Because there are blurred lines within music of rap and singing.
Twitter.
And honestly, it feels like Drake is on the docket. Ja Rule is on the docket.
Drake raps. I'm like, Drake raps though. Oh, but you mean of like blurring the line?
Yeah, of like singing and rap melody.
Yeah, right.
And
because
cadence.
does that make Ja Rule a singer?
Does it? Does it?
I do not want 12 tracks of Ja Rule singing.
I wouldn't think so. Like, but
does that take away from what he does on a song when he does be a little bit more melodic? Not at all,
No.
because it always hits.
But I wouldn't call him the king of R&B.
And I wouldn't call her the queen of rap.
Who is the king of R&B?
Oh,
He's in jail.
and with that being said, with him being locked up, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 12 of Same Mom. Oh, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 12 of
Same Mom, Different Dads.
And allowing us to reach our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
Closing remarks.
Thank you for tuning in this far. We always say that, but we really do appreciate it. If you are watching on YouTube, we always suggest watching us on YouTube instead of listening. But if you are listening, shout out to everybody on Spotify, on Apple, and we are also on Amazon. Actually saw like our Amazon page and it's pretty cool. Yeah.
We out here.
Yeah, but thank you for that. If you haven't already, please subscribe on YouTube at Same Mom Different Dads Podcast. We are on social media as Same Mom Diff Dads on all social platforms. If you want to keep up with me, this is Julian B.
I am C_the3rd.
And after this, we're going to take a little break. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you in the new year. Happy New Year. We hope.
Well, this will come out in the new year.
Huh?
Well, this will come out in the new year.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
But we're gonna take a short little break. Let everyone ease into the year. You know, have a productive beginning of Q1, and we'll pop back up on y'all. You know, right before the weather starts to warm back up, because
you always gotta pop out.
We pop up when it's time to act up.
Purr.
So let's go hibernate.
Yeah. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.